The fishing lately has been absolute crap. January I blanked, fully blanked. February, first couple of days in February, blanked again. So to be completely honest with you, the last couple of videos have been repurposed videos. I put them up there to fill a gap, man. And I don't think that's fair to you guys. So today I've come down to the harbor. Tide's a bit higher than I thought it was gonna be. I thought I was gonna be able to get out there. And I'm gonna talk about a little lure that I don't think gets enough credit. And that is the Fishus Espetit little jerk shad. These things are something else. So stick around and hopefully I can explain them just a little bit more. Okay, so like I said, today I want to talk about the Espetit jerk range. They come in a whole bunch of different sizes. The one that I have now is an 85 millimeter. It is 8.6 grams. They come in two different types. This one is a suspending type. They also come in a sinking type. And they come in three different sizes for all kinds of predators. You've got a 55, a 70, actually four different sizes. A 55, a 70, an 85, and I believe that there's a 130 as well. So anything that you're fishing for, these little buddies right here are banging, man. The smaller sizes, what you can use those for is on the rivers. Perch, trout love them, pike love them. I mean, you put a 130 on and you've got pike all day long. They're absolutely amazing for all sorts of species of fish, man. They're also really good for rivers where there is current. And because it suspends, you can cast it out and let it just sit in the current, and the movement, the wobbling movement that it has is just something else. I mean, it looks like the mimetic colors. Tell me that doesn't look like a bait fish. And this lure just isn't for freshwater. For the bass, I mean, you get it out here where there's current, where there's some flow, and you just let that sit in the flow. It's absolutely amazing, especially in the little shallow areas where you've got, I mean, like here, I mean, that shallow, you've got 6, 8, 10 inches of water. These are perfect to run straight, come straight through. Because I've said about freshwater, perch, pike, trout, all that stuff, don't discount it on the bass. It works perfect for bass, especially in the shallow areas with a little bit of current. Because of the way it suspends, you can drop this in a shallow little area and just let it sit in that current, and it will actually float depending on the diameter. The diameter and the weight of your line can determine how deep it goes, how shallow it goes. I use a 20-pound braid and a 20-pound fluorocarbon leader, and it sits in that current really low. If I've got 6 inches of water, I'm chucking this dude on right here, man, because I know it's just gonna sit there. It's not gonna hang up on the bottom or anything like that. There's also a new size that came out. I said about the 55, the 70, the 85, and the 130. The newest one is a 55. I don't have one of those with me yet, but the 55 is the newest color. I mean, and it is, like Isaac Lorenzo says, that right there is candy, man. That is beautiful. There's both fresh and saltwater colors. You've got, they come in a whole bunch of colors, man. You got the white and flash. There's candy black. There's a whole bunch of colors. But those bad boys, they are something else, man. You've got right here, I've got a perch, and oh, is that a rainbow trout? I think it is, man. It really does look like it. But you've got baby bass, you've got mullet, and the coloring on those is absolutely amazing. Just because that's a perch doesn't mean it won't work in the salt water like we use. I mean, I don't know how many of you fish for perch or fish in the rivers, but that is not only for fresh water. I think, and I don't have one to compare, but between the 85 and the 55, the shapes, they're almost two totally different lures. The 55s are a little bit fatter. The bill on the 55 is a little bit wider. They work differently, they swim differently, but they're still effective. No matter, I mean, just because they work differently, they're built differently, they're in the same family, and they are effective. These suspending ones that I have, because of this bill, when you cast it out and you retrieve, what happens is it'll dive and then it'll come back up and it'll sit. It'll just sit there. The sinking ones, when you retrieve it, it'll float, drop, drop. If you ever get one of these lures from anywhere, I'm gonna drop a quick little plug in for luresedge.com. I don't have a package to show you, but if you look at the back of the package, there's a QR code. If you scan that with your phone, it'll bring up a video of the swimming action of these lures. I mean, I'm not sure any other lure company does that, dude, and I think it's really cool. If I'm in a shop and I want to know how it swims, I'm gonna pick up that packet, I'm gonna scan it on my phone, and I'm gonna see how it works, man. I mean, it's a pretty sweet feature, dude. The Espetit Jerk was designed to fish in rivers, shallow areas, and areas with modern current. I mean, if you've got a tide flow, it's a bit windy now. If I was out there in the summertime with this wind that we have right now and it was an ebbing tide, I would have myself out that away. I would cast it up towards the shore and I would let it float down, a couple twitches here and there, and I guarantee you, man, bang! The suspending lures are also designed for more like slower stuff, more finesse kind of stuff, more technical stuff. The sinking lures, the Espetit Jerk SP, are designed for areas with faster flowing current, like you're going to a harbor and there's an inlet or an outlet and you've got that flow pulling out on the ebb or it's pushing in. That's where you want to concentrate the SKs, the sinking ones. The profile on the SKs is totally different. The shape of the SK is much flatter and it's designed that way to cut through the current a little bit better. The SK also has a more aggressive bill on it. I mean, if you look at that one, it's a little bit narrow. The SK bill is a little bit wider, and that allows you to give it more aggressive jerks through the current. When you're twitching that bait, just giving it little subtle jerks. Just little, you don't have to rah, because you're not gonna pull a truck with it. What you want to do is you want the predator fish, the bass, the pike, the perch, whatever they are, you want them to know there's an injured bait fish right there, and I'm gonna snag that sucker when it stops. So a couple jerks, prop, prop, and then stop and wait for it. If you want more aggressive jerks, I would look into getting the SK, the sinking one, because that is for heavier jerks and faster fishing. It even allows you to fish in deeper water. This one, depending on your retrieve rate, it's gonna dive, but it's designed for shallow waters. If you go to deep water, get the sinking lure. That's what the sinking lure is designed for. The sinking version and the suspending version, except for the 85, there are silent versions and there are rattling versions. All of the 85s have a rattle in them. And this rattle in the 85s, it's not just beads put in there. The sides of the beads, the design of the lure is made so it's a precise rattling. Ah, and the hooks are sharp. It's a precise rattling and it triggers predators. It's like a high pitch. It's a different type. It's higher pitch than ones that I've seen before. Like I said in the beginning, man, there is a whole range of colors. There's colors for freshwater. Don't discount them in the sea. There's colors for the sea. There's a whole range of colors for sea, a whole range of colors for freshwater, and in all sizes. There's some colors exclusively for the sea. I don't want to say that they're exclusive because you can use them anywhere. And the mimetic colors, like I showed you before, man, these are banging. You've got trout imitations, you've got perch imitations, you've got minnow imitations, you've got my favorite white and flash, you've got the flashy shad. All of those colors that you can get in an Espetit, you can get in a jerk shad as well. I mean, God, these are lovely lures, man. So if you don't have one, go out, get a couple of them, get some suspending ones, get a sinking one, and just try it out. You don't have to get a whole bunch of them, but get a couple different colors, a couple different sizes, and a couple of different weights. For me, I'm looking at the saltwater ones. I do have freshwater ones because I fish for pike and perch and all that stuff, but I know that there's some people that don't. They fish for bass. I'll tell you what, go out and get a white and flash, go out and get a candy black Espetit Jerk, and you'll catch fish. I'm hoping that you guys enjoyed this little video, and I can't wait to see the comments. Put some comments down. Let me know if you've used these lures. It's really underestimated. Go out and get some, couple different sizes, couple different colors. I think I've said that about 10 times already. Hopefully it's February. Bass fishing is to start picking up. And I'll get some bass fishing videos out, man. But go and get some and get you some fish, man.